welcome back to another Friday Reviews. I won't be putting the little tune in here because I am planning to do quite a lot of film reviews on a Friday, well, for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and some throughout next week. So you know, with not knowing when which will be, there will just be a bunch of reviews, and there will be Friday reviews, but they might not all be up on the Friday. But the first one I have to talk about is a very interesting one because it's quite a controversial film, it seems, and it is Pan. Now, I of course have the 3D edition here. I'd heard pretty terrible things about this movie, so I feel like I went into this movie expecting bad things, but also going into it open-minded to see how I'd feel about it myself. So I kind of went into it, like, you know, with hesitation. I wasn't really sure. And at first, when I started watching the movie, I was really quite enjoying it. It kind of gave me a bit of an Oliver Annie vibe because it is obviously Pan's origin story, and Pan starts off in an orphanage in the beginning of this movie. And, you know, I was really enjoying it, and I like Pan. I think the boy that they chose to play Pan really did a great job. And then obviously, of course, as we would expect, he is swept off to Neverland. And again, as soon as he got to Neverland, I was like, you know what, this is awesome. Hugh Jackman was Blackbeard, and I thought he was great. Weird, but great. I liked him. I always kind of like really eccentric characters. And he started singing Nirvana, which I love Nirvana, and I thought that was really, it was kind of felt a little bit maybe out of place. But I kind of just took it on board and I was like, yeah, this is great, I love it. And then they had the Blitzkrieg Bop by the Ramones, and I was just like, yeah, I love this. And it kind of had this whole little vibe going on. I was really enjoying that part of it. And yeah, I mean, some people didn't really like that bit and felt like it was maybe a bit too out there. I thought I actually really liked that, and it kind of made me smile. And I was kind of like, okay, this is kind of what I'm in for with this film. It's a little bit weird, a little bit wacky. And I was really, really enjoying it. And then it progressed, the story started to progress, and I was thinking, you know what, I'm really enjoying this. And then we had the character of Smee, and let me say, Smee is definitely one of my favourite characters. He made me laugh in this movie, he made me smile, and I was overall really enjoying the movie. And then I feel like it did take a bit of a turn. I don't know if I'd say a turn for the worse, but it did take a turn. The first half of this movie I did really enjoy. The second half I definitely don't think I enjoyed as much. I can't really put my finger on why. I don't know, it's kind of weird. I enjoyed the characters, and I kind of was, I think it was more the story with this one. The story kind of felt a little bit odd. I felt like they could have done different things with it, and at the end I definitely feel like they left a lot of questions unanswered. So I actually do hope they make a sequel to this, because I feel like it just didn't feel, I didn't get everything I wanted from a Pan prequel. And that kind of has something to do with Hook. That was more my thing. I really wanted to know more about Hook, and I need more there. I felt like I needed more. But overall, I didn't think this was a bad movie. Everyone says, you know, it's horrible, it's awful. I actually enjoyed it. I had fun with it. I mean, I did go in expecting bad things. The end was a little bit weird. The end, I don't know. The end was a little bit, I don't know. I wasn't sure about the end. Not the very, very end, but I mean like the last 15 minutes or so. I was a bit like, that was kind of the bit for me that was kind of like, okay, it's getting a bit, I don't know, I can't really put my finger on it, because as well, obviously I can't give the end away. So it's a hard movie to talk about, because in a way I feel like it did have some great qualities about it. I enjoyed Pan and Hook and kind of the dynamic between the two of them in this. I enjoyed Blackbeard, I loved Smee. Tiger Lily I thought was also great. I loved the kind of natives in this movie. I thought they were really interesting, and their kind of story, I mean, I did like Pan's backstory. I thought it was good, but there was other bits of the story that I feel like I wanted as well that they didn't give me. But I still enjoyed the movie and had fun with it and had laughs, and I would watch the movie again. I actually do really want to watch the movie again soon, because I feel like certain parts where I started to kind of trail off, I kind of want to refocus myself there and see kind of what it was that I thought made me kind of trail off a little bit. I think for a family movie, because what is this? This is rated PG. I don't think this will be for everybody. I don't think that young children will get along with this movie. I mean, I'm not sure, but it did seem quite a lot darker than I was expecting it. And for me personally, I quite liked that in a way. But then as a family film, is that really the way that they should have gone with it? I'm not really sure. It does leave a lot of questions, this movie does, and I don't really know how to answer them. But overall, I enjoyed the movie. And I was surprised, and I was watching it and I was having fun with it. and I just thought, yeah, you know what, I'm enjoying this and I like it, and it's fun, and it's just, I'm going with it. That's kind of how I went with this movie. I was just like, you know what, I'm going to go with it. And I had fun with it, and I enjoyed it. Like I said, you know, there's definitely parts I was like, wow, it looked beautiful. But I do admit, the CGI in some places was a bit off, I thought. I watched it in 3D. It was like these birds, and they just didn't look right for 2016, well, 2015 this came out. They looked a bit dated in CGI, but then some of the CGI was brilliant. The 3D itself deserves a 5. The 3D was fantastic, I mean, which is good, because you wouldn't really want to expect anything less from something like this. Pop-out 3D was great, depth 3D was great, the 3D really was fantastic. If you're looking for a great 3D Blu-ray, this is definitely a great 3D Blu-ray. Now for the movie itself, surprisingly, maybe against some people's judgment, I'm going to give it a 4. I enjoyed it, I had fun with it, but I did go into it kind of expecting the worst and kind of got more out of it than I thought I was going to. I think that's why. I really liked a lot of the characters in this. I really liked Hook. I do have some problems with Hook, like, in some ways that this film didn't have, it wasn't in the film, it was just things that I kind of wonder why they didn't address certain things, but maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I liked Hook, I liked Blackbeard, I liked Smee, I liked Pan. I also liked Pan's friend, who was from the orphanage. I liked Tiger Lily, you know, all the characters I thought was great. It was kind of the plot itself I had more problem with. Visually, like I say, it looked great. I liked it. I liked how it went along. Pacing, I felt like it was a little bit off, like I say, in the middle. Maybe not in the middle, like a little bit after the middle, I started to kind of trail off, and I can't remember why. Like, literally, my mind trailed away, and I was like, oh yeah, this movie. So that's never quite a good thing. That's why I think, you know, 4 does seem generous, maybe, but no, it doesn't. I enjoyed it. I don't know. I'm so in a mix about this movie. I can't even tell you, but I enjoyed it. I had fun with it. I absolutely loved Smee. I've mentioned it so many times, but I just did, and it was fun, and it was action-packed. It reminded me of a mix of many films. It reminded me a little bit of Mad Max. I know, right? In some ways, at the beginning, when he got to Neverland, it gave me that vibe. I don't know why. But mix of like Fury Road and Thunderdome. Thunderdome more so because obviously the tribe, the children, which was a weird one. Next, obviously, it reminded me a bit of Pirates of the Caribbean. Next, it reminded me a bit of that Indiana Jones. That's kind of how I got Hook. He seemed a bit more like Indiana Jonesy. And then it also reminded me a little bit of, well, there's only one bit. One bit reminded me a little bit of Moulin Rouge. And I can't tell you why, because it's just so weird of a comparison, but I think it was the pirates on the ship seemed so Moulin Rouge like. I don't know, it was weird. There's this one little bit I was like, huh. But yeah, it kept reminding me of different films. It did feel like different films kind of smudged together. It was a different pan than I think we were all expecting, but I enjoyed it. If they make a sequel, I think that would be better. I think that could kind of get some of my questions that I have answered, because now I feel like I have questions about Peter Pan and all sorts. But anyway, I enjoyed it. If you're hesitant about it, I enjoyed it. I went into it apprehensive, but came out thinking, I'm glad I watched that, I'd watch it again. I had fun with it, I enjoyed it. Maybe if I went into it again, not so much looking to kind of judge it and fault it, I would maybe even enjoy it even more. I think that's why I gave it 4, because I went into it really thinking, right, oh, that's a bit. I don't usually do that in a movie, so I feel like, you know, with it passed with my mindset like that, I feel like it was a good movie for me. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of you didn't, but personally, I had fun with it. 3D was great as well. So yeah, that's my review of Pan. Thumbs up if you enjoyed Friday reviews. I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching. Goodbye!